this video, I go head to head with Penji's top designers. Now we're gonna be working on a logo called Art Lab. It's a generative AI based app that creates mood boards for you automatically based on prompts. So this is great for creatives, artists, designers, anyone on that type of nature. And so I'm gonna go head to head and design a logo, and we're gonna compare at the end and you can see the results. Now, the cool thing about Penji is that it has a great marketplace for people who want to work with graphic designers. It's so seamless to work with them. Now, whenever you submit a post or a brief, you will get a designer. I'm going up against Miguel in this challenge, and they're just super friendly, they're super nice, and they really understand your brief. And that's what I really like about Penji. They only assign vetted designers, so you know that the quality is going to be top tier. Once they get assigned to it, then they'll work on it, and you get the designs within 24 hours most of the time. It's really fast and efficient, and I think it's just easy to work with them. You know, you get a clean dashboard. I can just download the files, and then I can just say, hey, give me some revisions, and he'll shoot me some revisions. So here are some of the sketches I did first on a combination mark, so having a nice icon and a typography. Some of the keywords are dynamic, futuristic, artistic, and techie. And so I wanted to have this idea of, you know, having really cool type. I'm going to be using a nice font, and I had ideas of like using alchemy and pixels because it's a whole lab, and it's like, because my thought was like when the AI uses your prompt, it's mixing ideas and text together to create nice mood boards and images. And so I thought maybe I could have like a pixel idea with little squares and blocks. But that was my initial sketches, and then I landed on one of these designs here, and I'm going to create this in Illustrator. So let's jump into it. I'm gonna go with this font called Code Next. It's from Font Fabric. If you do want to check out Font Fabric, I will put a link in the description below if you want some cool fonts. Also, I'll put a nice little discount code as well. If you use my code, you get 50% off any font, so definitely check it out. So I'm really liking this idea, having sort of this inconsistent weights here. The only thing is with the T, I really wanted to make this work, but I might need to add the second part of the crossbar to make it more readable, because some might not read this as a T. So I've got to add that in, and then we'll work with that. Alrighty, I'm pretty happy with this. I'll add color a bit later, but now I want to jump into creating this icon. I wanted to really think of like this bottle, you know how you've got sort of those vials, or those, you know, when people make potions or like mixtures, they have those like glass pots. So I thought of that triangular shape, and maybe like at the top got sort of the lid, and then have this sort of A in the middle. I had these ones here, sort of like a pyramid with like a bottle top, and pixels representing the squares or the blocks, as in like building blocks. The squares could also mean represent images, or like the mood boards that the generative AI creates. So that was my thinking with this icon. So I was thinking of really going with these simple ones, and then I think this one was really interesting, but I think I'm going to go with probably this one here. And there we have it. I used the mirror mode to create this effect. It made it easy to make it symmetrical. And so we've got this lid here, it looks kind of cool. And we've got this A shape, so you can see like the overall A shape there. And then sort of these lines in the middle to cut this section, so I can color it just to add some, make it a bit more dynamic. And you can see it's got like 4 different pieces. And you know, that just plays on the idea as well, like multiple pieces coming together in a mood board to create a whole you know, mixture, a whole creative idea. I'm gonna just shorten these a bit because I feel like it's a bit long, so we'll go 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4 to make it a little bit more balanced there. I think that's working really well, and pretty confident with this. Curious to see what the other designer creates. Now, here is the first iteration of what Miguel created. I'm loving the bold colors of the green. I think version 1 and 3 are my favorites here. The icons are really bold. I'm not digging the font as much. It's a bit too soft and young sort of vibe to it. And I think the kerning could be improved a little bit, but I think that was probably the font he chose. I feel like the font's not matching well to those icons. So now here is what I created. Now you can see I went for that really clean type look. I was trying to make it a little bit futuristic and techy by adding like these little cuts and you know, try to make it flow a bit more with the T and the L there, and then just making these counter parts inside the A and the B, you know, they're really round and geometric for this font, so I think it's really cool. And my main focus with the icon was to create sort of bottle like this potion. It's also an A as well, so it's like when I think of like mixing, like alchemy is all about mixing things together. So when you're using the generative AI, it's mixing the prompts, the words, the ideas, and it's gonna shoot out all these images for the mood boards, which is like the concept. Here is the second iteration after the revision of the design. I love the gradients he added in, looks good. And he actually also did some mock-ups, which looks cool. He only did some business cards, which I think is good enough, but I really like the third design. Now I want you to leave a comment below if you preferred Penji's designer Miguel or my design for the Art Lab project. Now you can check out Penji and give it a try. I will put a link in the description below. It's an affordable service for any agency trying to grow, or if you're just looking for a designer to do a small job for you. You might be a small business, or maybe you're just working on a side project. Then Penji is a great app to find the right designer to fit your project. They do offer 30-day back guarantee, which I think is generous. They give heaps of benefits, as you can see, and they have a really quick turnaround compared to a lot of other different services out there. So I think it's really great. Give it a try. Thanks so much for watching. If you do want to watch me redesign 3 game logos, you can check out the video right here, and you can watch me turn them realistic.